Hey, this is going to be a tidbit for a larger video, but I think this is not going to be the main video. I think Christmas should start on November 1st, 12:01 a.m., and end maybe in January, maybe in February, maybe even March, depending on how festive everyone is. I don't know. I think the reason aside why I say this is because in the past couple of years, I've noticed Christmas become less festive. Not even just in my family. I think in my family it's been similar average amount of festivity, but I think in general, just in society, in media, it just feels less festive, right? Even decorations, just as you walk around, and maybe that's a byproduct of just becoming older and stuff become seeming less magical. But I think because of that, I just want it to be as magical as it was back then. Like I remember when you were a kid, you go on Disney Channel and like maybe Austin Alley or wherever shows on or Cartoon Network would have like some Christmas special to watch that. And they used to have a bunch of stuff that you go to the stores, there's Christmas music and Christmas lights and everything. I think that was like oh, it seemed like a fun time. And I think the reason I say this and the point I'm going to get to in a second is that I think there's also been, as I've noticed that, I've also noticed a flaw in myself in that I expect to consume that facility more than I expect to actually give it out. And what I mean by that is like, last year I remember well, a big complaint of mine was just how Christmas was less festive. And I think that was something that soiled my mood. But I never thought to myself, how come I wasn't as festive as a person? Right? Like how come I wasn't like creating that excitement in others to make it more festive in a sense. I think that's just something I want to work more in general, not just in Christmas festivity, but just in general, where I consume more, where I produce more than I consume. Like, so that's something I've been doing recently. I know I had this challenge I try and do every day, where it's like trying to get 100 compliments out, right? Just for different reasons, I have that challenge, but it's a great way to just like increase better the mood of people, right? So stuff like that, where it's like, okay, where I'm doing something to better people's day instead of expecting people to better my day, in a sense. I also think it applies to stuff like technology, where it's like, okay, instead of just seeing all this cool new tech, what am I actually building? I remember that's the reason why I said I was less keen on following the latest advancements in technology or AI because it didn't mean a lot. Like Google says they're going to start building like data centers or something on on the moon, right? And that's cool and all, but like, what does that do for me as a person? Because if I don't have the same, if I don't have the foundational knowledge for like maybe AI research or just neural networks or whatever, then like, what can I really build? It's one thing to know, but it's another thing to be able to build. And I think that's where it comes in the sense of like the consuming to producing, the producing to consuming ratio. I want my producing to be much more higher than my consuming, right? But in this specific case, I think in terms of festivity, I have no idea what to do to make it more festive. I think a lot of times it's just mentioning Christmas to friends, like, oh, what are you guys doing for Christmas? Or listening to Christmas. I don't know why I'm so keen on this, but I don't know. I think it's something that I really want to do more. I think it has a lot of different applications if I can develop this more. I think a cool thing as well that my brother also pointed out is like the idea of giving back because that's something a lot of people do during Christmas. I've been thinking like, how can I give back in a way? Like maybe it's a charity I can work for, like a food pantry, like somewhere I can give back in a sense. I know with the government shutdown, I know there's a lot of stuff going where people are worried about like their SNAP benefits or just being able to access food in trying times. So I wonder what that's going to be like. Maybe like food pantries need to be more staffed. So I can also look into that. Or just building stuff that help people. I don't know. I think it's something. This is a very undeveloped thought, as I'm sure you can tell, but I think it's something I really want to do, where it's just produce more than consume, right? And then maybe it's like just sharing cool opinions. I feel like that's like of all the stuff I've listed, that's like probably the least helpful, but maybe it could be cool. Like, I want to say sharing cool opinions. That could be not just in the sense of saying, hey, controversial opinion X, Y, and Z, but like finding stuff, highlighting stuff that you think are underappreciated. If I know there's a lot of this is animation because animation is a really great example of this. There's a lot of small indie animators who don't get the appreciation that their work deserves. Like for the amount of effort they did, how good it is, the quality doesn't get enough appreciation. So maybe just being someone who's able to share those more works more like, oh, hey guys, like I know that I do not know this person at all, but I think you should go check out this thing, right? Maybe that's what I should be doing more of. And I think it's a cool thing. And just as I said before, it doesn't just apply to Christmas, but I think especially in Christmas, for some reason, I really, really want to do this. But yeah, yeah. I'll think about it more. I mean, I think the charity aspect would be really cool. I think a food pantry mouse would be fun. I know, I don't know, I said fun, but I think it is fun sometimes. But I know last summer, the summer before that, I did get to do some food pantry stuff. So maybe that's what I should do one of these weekends to just see where I can help around campus or in DC or in the DMV area. Yeah. Honestly, besides that, I have nothing else to say. So have a great day.